Uh,
Okay.
okay, now you can share your own slide, right?
Yeah. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
okay.
So I'm sorry about that. Just the internet connection. I will talk in three parts. And part one is about the background of information in library management, and the second part is about management theories and in library evaluation, and the third part is about evaluation of library organization, and followed by the case study of uh, library management. Um, um, just that this what when we think about the library, our library, and consider what type of library we work in, a traditional library or a modern library, and only you know, every one of you know that the answer, because you are the one who work in that library. For the concept of a library management, it is the discipline that focus on specific issues faced by libraries and library management professionals. For management is the essential for all types of organization and libraries. Management refer to the function of the organization and administration of various activity and people in the organization. So reading from the article from the Post of Hypermedia Library, I think many people never use a card catalog. Many people never use a card catalog, especially the young one. But some people still use them. And some people use ebook or digital resources from the library. Some prefer not to use ebook. So some people come to the library for academic activities at the reference desk, but some people prefer to chat online or communicate by email. So the concept of traditional libraries or conventional library is still available in many societies, because the mission of the traditional library, we cannot connect people to books or any kind of written information. And in the own time of Clay Tablet, Scones, and Palm Leaf also had the same mission. So the traditional library has the idea of the library being a place that facilitate the relationship between people and books. So moving forward from the traditional library to modern library, which connect people to information. And when we use more library database that to provide better and more organized information and more awareness than just using Google search. From the concept of hypermodern libraries has also has few restriction and more open to provide a space for connecting people to people through information as the public place to mix and form a community. For example, through the book club, the story time, the program, and initiative activities to fulfill the social mission. And the libraries are for organizing and providing information. That information used to not only be in the form of books, but now it come to many other formats as we now using. If in fact we are now living in the information age, and the amount of information in the world is growing faster than ever. So to sort through that information, to tell the real from the fake, and to help us find what we need. That's why the libraries are needed more than ever. the mission of organizing the library hasn't changed, just the medium. So that's what I read from the article, and I agree with the author that the library should not just serve or engage the community. It should create the community. That's what we are here for. And everyone know about Ranganathan concept that in library management is the Ranganathan 5 law, is a good practice in library science, or some people may say that it is the philosophy of librarianship. So it is the concept to provide books to reader, but it can apply to other mediums, just not just only book. Just for example, the first law is the aim of the library is to ensure the maximum use of readers, use of reading materials. And the second law, every person has or her book, his or her book, mean that to enhance the first law. And the third law, every book is reader. It's the duty of the librarians to bring readers to the reading materials. And the fourth law is to save the time of the reader. It's our job to work in the classification and cataloging and other kind of service to provide to save the time of reader to get that information. So the library in the fifth law is a growing organization that is expand in as a knowledge center and in the site or a number of readers. So from this, it can apply to the current environment, whether you use ebook or you use Netflix for watching, or use Blackboard for e-learning. So it's the kind of technology or moving or other medium for moving, but the concept of library is still growing, and also the same in the way of providing knowledge and information to user. And since then until now, the mission of the library hasn't changed, just the medium. And when we look at the library ecosystem in seven parts, that the first one is working with the advocacy and policy and budget and personnel in library management. This is number one, because that is the beginning of everything, that especially the advocacy that can be the support from the government, the local government, the law that provide funding to the library, because many libraries are public service, from the government to the citizen, and to provide a knowledge facility to the citizen or user. So for the advocacy come first, followed by setting up the policy, the budget, the plan, and the personnel. And the second one is the library resources or e-resources nowadays. Every library resources need to be cataloged, to be classified, cataloging, and with metadata to be searchable and in the library collection. So that is the important part of it. And number three is the library automation, which is the library integrated system or the library database or and digital repository to manage information resources from the second part of it and provide services. So this is the technologies coming to the library from this, and beside the electronic resources. And number four is the library services can be reference services, which is, I said that is the main function of library profession, is provide a better library service, reference service, customer service, and library activities to connect people to information. The fifth one is the library space. and which including the reading space, the learning space, and the maker space for inspiration and creative thinking. So people now still need space, just like when we come to the university, come to our office, the same as our user also want to have a place for relaxing, and learning something to improve our skills. That is the libraries are for. The sixth part is the library training or user instruction to train user to connect to our reading materials, and it's very important. And so information in the library database should be known by user. That's our job to let them know that what the materials that they want to use in the profession, or if they are student in what they study, it's our job to do that. So do the kind of training in order to develop information skills and information literacy and digital literacy. The seventh part is also one of the most important that get the impact from society, is to support community strategies and SDG, a Sustainable Development Goal of UNESCO. The community can be developed by the quality of people to access to information and fact, when which can help to develop their quality of life and their work or their career, whatever it is. This is the important functions of library ecosystem when we do kind of library management. So this is when we look at the big picture, it will be the society around us that we can do a kind of collaboration with whom, it can be a private sector, it can be a government sector, or any kind, it can be international part of a community that we can work together. Most modern Thai libraries support Sustainable Development Goal, or SDG. I say that because in 2020, one university library win IFLA Green Library Award, which is Langsit University. And this library hold activity to enhance readership programs for environment, sustainable management, and also the Thai Library Association support the Green Library standards and award the libraries that meet the criteria of Green Library standards during the annual conference every year. And this is also give every library aware of the importance of environment, energy, as we call a green library. Another project is also one of the best practice of the Thai Library Association and the Stock Exchange of Thailand Foundation, who give funding for this project to reskill people in the community by using the library as the source of information combined with the local knowledge to enhance their skills and earn their income to set new products in the library corner, because we have public library everywhere in every provinces in Thailand. And another good example that I would like to share is the Kasetsat University Eco Library, which use the recycled materials to design the library facility to raise awareness and about the environment and among members of the university community and to save the world environment. and is open to public, beside the university library. They provide this eco library to the community too, so everyone can visit their library. And another project is the book. We also have the team of lecturer from Chiang Mai Ratchapat University who wrote a book about libraries for SDGs in Thai language. If you are interested in, you may contact Dr. Suthinan, who is our moderator today, because she is one of the authors to read this book, So I think it's we give more concern on SDG now. And this is the number of library in Thailand, and as you can see, the large number is in school libraries, and followed by the public libraries, because in 76 provinces, and followed by the academic library, because it depends on the number of university that we have, and the national library, one national library, but different branches, as the Punapa has give you information about that. And from the library map of the world, there are quite a large number of libraries around the world, because this is the public place, space for knowledge, that every countries give more concern to provide knowledge to the citizens. And to know that the libraries is an important part of the society, as well as school and university, because we work for knowledge community. To know how to manage the library, we also need to understand the type of libraries that we are working with. And there are 5 types of libraries: the national libraries, the public libraries, the academic libraries, and school library and special libraries. And in Thailand, there are also a book house for a small library projects that is to support people in the community in Bangkok. There are about 139 book houses in different community. It's very small house, but provides the book and facility and games and other kind of materials, for children, especially for children or adults who want to come for any kind of books that they want to read. So this book house connect to the public library of in Bangkok too. So I think this for me, I think is wonderful, for people to connect to the library easily, not to have to go too far to go to the collection. And also the library management depends on the library strategy and budget. And the type, because the type of organization are not the same, so the library manager or the library director need to adjust themselves by using the management skills and the subject knowledge the library provide, because the strategy of one library might be want to be in top 5 university in Asia, so we have to, the library strategy must support that task. So some library in Thailand may have the budget to run the library more than 100 billion baht annually, Some may have 1 million baht, and some may have less than that. But all library, no matter what type of library, they must provide information to user needs. So no matter how much money you have to run the library, you know, you have the same mission as either the small library or the big library, you know. So that's why we need the management skills from the library manager or director who is the head of the library, you know, to work hard for that in order to provide user needs by having the library resources. That is why the library performance evaluation is very important. How do the administrator know that your library perform the best task to support users? There are the development, you know, from since 1960, and I think if you study management, you will know about POSCOP that has been applied in management theory, which stands for planning, organizing, staffing, and directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. But manage the library is not that easy, you know, as the POSCOP, because you need to do more than that, you know. That's why the management theory that have been used in library has been developed for library measurement and performance evaluators. And for example, in 1970, the strategic planning and strategic management is very, you know, important. Until now, I think it's still important, because I also do research in strategic planning, you know, not in 1970, but maybe 90, you know, 80 and 90, I'm not sure. But so if ALA planning evaluation, you know, there is the standard of ISO 1162, and also the management response and action plan, also service quality and ServQual and LibQual, of course, library quality. These two you may know about how, you know, when you do research and you want to know the quality of service you have, you might use this kind of management tools to find out about the quality of your library. And in 2018, there have more in competitive strategy and value chain and the 8 excellent attribute. Until now, you know, until 1990 to 1920, there is the business process in re-engineering, as you heard about it, and core competency. I think everyone know about core competency, and organizational learning or learning organization, and community as of practice. And the core competency of librarianship, I just talk about some few things that related to library management now, is the core competency of librarianship, as you see that of ALA or American Library Association, give more concern on the information resources and the skill in organize the record knowledge and information, which is the cataloging and classification, and have technology skill and reference and user services and research. So that is the before 10 years or 20 years ago. And then when come to 2010, there are the more core competency in which in 21st century of library model are more open for collaboration and interpersonal skills and collection development and information literacy, which means that people, connect people to information. You meet people more, and you have to have interpersonal skill, talking to people, or you need more users, to come to the library. So in this 2010, and also provides a user by training in the information literacy or digital literacy, which is needed by user. In 2020, the library are more open for collaborations and active learning and adaptation, especially now, after COVID-19. And we do a lot more to change what we have done before before 3 years, before 5 years, until now, and these skills are needed, especially in curation, digital curation, and digital preservation, to preserve online materials for long-term use. And so this needs a lot of leaderships and to develop the vision, to have vision and innovation in the skill of people who work in the library nowadays. Also, the library management depend on library standards. The Thai Library Association has a library standard section which prepare library standard and promote the use of standards. There are quite the number, not the number, but depend on the type of libraries that we have, and still we are in the process of developing the standard, but still be used by different type of library. And I'm interested in this one too, International Standard of Library in Library Performance Indicators. So it helps the ISO standard and in library performance indicator. They have the self-assessment tools that if you want to know about our library, how to perform our library, and in four sector. The first one is about resources and access and infrastructure, which is to look at the collection that we have. And the second part is to you look at the use of the collection, the accessibility and the facility. And the third one is efficiency in collection and access and staff. And the fourth one is the potential and development in collection and staff also. So I see some university have used the self-assessment, but I'm not sure whether they apply for standard or not. But it is one of the example that if you want to know the library performance that we have, can look at the standard. Either the minimum standard that we have in Thailand. I think we don't make it too hard for the library to meet the standard, but it's more challenging if we go forward to international standard or other kind of standard that to improve the quality of service, to improve the performance of our organization. For the evolution of the library organization, and I look at the literature to analyze the organizational structure and functions. The library professional prefers to utilize their competencies for their user and to learn skills and develop their specialties in changing in the changing environment. Library profession need to develop their own specialty and services for a unique and suitable theory in library management. So it is necessary to develop management theory suitable for library management. So the library organization functions and services may reflect the strategy inherent to libraries. It means that each library, no matter how big or small, you can create your own specialties in the collection and services, in your own way. What I mean is you don't have to be the same as my university, your university, other university, but just create your specialties in a unique way, to provide service. If your user are satisfied of your collection and your services, I think that is the best, of providing to do the kind of library management, especially when the top level of your organization agree with you that what you do is so wonderful, just meet the criteria and also meet the strategy of the organization, that is the best. We can look at the standard, we can look at the library, but we have to create our own way of doing library management. So that's what they say. So organized structure and functions that they have can be any way that meet the need of our users. And the librarians now that they need to transform themselves from being a user of a collection to be a creator and of the collections from their own institution. And each institution have your own publications, have your own research report and thesis, and content, any content they create by people in your organization. So that information can deposit in the library institutional repository or digital repository, So that's why we say that the information professional now they can be the creator of their own collection, besides just being a user, and be a co-creators or collaborative a digital repository, which means that we work together in the same subject. For example, if I'm in economic field or I'm in a political science field, and I have contact with other university or library that work in the same subject and to share the same digital repository, we call it the collaborative digital repository. So we can be the co-creator, that to transform information from being a user to be a creator too. From the case study, the library should not just serve or engage the community, it should create the community. And in Finland, we see the example of the Helsinki Central Library that provide a living room for all. This is the gift that the government give to the citizen in the community to provide the public library in the center of the city. So I think this is a very good example, that because it's the public library just near the train station in the city, and it functions as the living room for residents, and Odi is the public place to meet friends. And you see a lot of young people in the library and to search for information, to read books and work in their own in their own interest. and create something new in the studio or the urban workshop. So this open 7 days a week. And another one is the example of the university that provides service either what kind of weather it is. The library is still open for all, because either it's hot as in Thailand or it's cold in Finland, the library is still open, and to people who want to read and to find some information. And also these are the example in another in Tampere University in Finland and Oulu, which is in the department, in the department also, not the main library, also have the living room for students to learn and to relax and before going to the classroom. And new libraries building is still growing. The people still need space to connect, to cultivate, to transform the community, to make a difference in people life, that we still see the new library buildings, coming up nowadays, even though we said that it is the virtual community, but wherever I go, I still see the new building of the library, and people still coming. In Seattle Public Library, also in the US, also I have the very large building, that provides information and resources to library community since 1991. That's what they said. It's 1991, from the single living room until the world-class library system in the big building, so until 100 years until now. The library is still, I think, getting bigger and bigger in the size of the collection, which people want to still need to have the inspiration and connection with people. And also it's a place to provide a career or a job. When you want to apply for a job, you also come to the library, public libraries. Okay, in Thailand also we have so many beautiful library now. So I think in the last 10 years, I see so many beautiful library. And example of the Thailand Creative Design Center in Bangkok Library also is one of the beautiful library in Bangkok, and Bangkok City Libraries, and which is part of the 39 public library in Bangkok. And the Bank of Thailand Library is an example of the special library in Thailand, which is very beautiful, with the library, the museum, the archive, just the perfect one as if you have a chance to visit, because it's near Chao Phraya River and not far from the National Library, I think. So we come to the new version of modern library management that I think we have we moved to the House of Access and Trust, because we have to work on our own collection in the digital repository and moving to data archive, for data collections. That's why the new version that we need the skill of librarian who know about technologies, to know about how to manage digital collection and services, to know how to manage the knowledge space, and to work with community engagement, and to collaborate between library, archive, and museum, and digital curation and preservation. I think this is the new version of modern library that we have to move on. So the type of library database, is before that, we work on library automation in library integrated system and digital library, which most of the collection we buy from the commercial publishers, and For another one is digital repository and digital archive, and we work with our collection like the thesis or research or other kind of e-learning and other materials that our institution create, that kind of publication that can be put in deposit in the institutional repository or can be a subject repository. And from that, it moved to the Trust Digital Repository, which is the project that I work with the National Research Council of Thailand and with so many, quite 23 university and library and organization. Last year, we got the three digital repositories have been awarded Cortacil certification with the international standards for digital repository, which is Kasetsart University Knowledge Repository, Legislative Institutional Repository of Thailand, and they get the the award from the National Research Council in the Research Expo. And Chulalongkorn University Intellectual Repository also has been awarded Cortacil certification last year. So this is the, well, I would say the best practice and a good example for many university and libraries in Thailand, to follow step and learn from the best practice. We are moving forward to focus on data. If we are ready for data repository, then we can apply for Retrieve Data, which is the directory of open access repository, and that you will see that how each collection, each repository, that provide data services more in this Retrieve Data. And just this year, and one repository which called Thai TNRR, Thai National Research Repository, was applied for retrievedata.org. And because they would like to apply for Cortacil standard, it become the first criteria. We have to apply for Retrieve Data to focus on data before submission for Cortacil requirement in version 2023 and 2025. This is how we work on international standard, and it takes times, almost 8 years to work on that. Each year we have the meeting together and then try to follow the requirement, whether we meet the criteria or not. So working with the standard, it go with the operation of our work. It work together. So to develop the criteria to meet the standard, also we need to develop the operation of our work too. And if you look at the other example of the Netherlands, which is the house of the Cortacil standard, and they set the good example that we can learn from them, that how can we provide and manage data digital information in the digital repository. That's from the outcome, we can search for the publication, as you see on the screen. You can search for the data set. You can search for research, from the collection. And this Netherlands. Let me look at this one. Data archives and the network services, or DANS, is a Dutch national center, of expertise and repository for research data that helps researchers make their data available for reuse So I think this also from this website, and followed by another one is also divided by subject, in social science and humanities and archaeology, life, health, medical science, physical, technical science. So this one is divided by subject in different area, and they provide more data set beside research reports. And another good example, there's so many good examples, and you can look at the presentation yourself after this, is the UK Data Archive, also one of the largest collection in social and economic population data that provide service, in data collection, start from digital repository to data archive, And Australia also have the Australian Data Archive, which is the national service for the collection and preservation of digital research data, which you can disseminate data from the economic researcher. And they work with other institutions, of course, with the university and other institutions to deposit data in the data archive and to provide service to users. And this also, I think, is really good one, ICPSR, because it's a collaborative digital repository, because they work together with many organizations as a membership and to deposit data and provide services to users in the social science area. And Swedish National Data Archive, also collaborate with 40 higher education institutions and public research institutions to provide researcher for data, for research data or report or kind of services. Canadian Research Data Center Network, also one of the good one that I find the collection is very interesting. Finland Social Science Archive is my model that I used from the beginning when I study, and do research in Finland, and the start of the studying more about corticeals and because they also set a good standard of collecting digital collection in social science. And because I think we don't have much time to go to detail, I just give you the website, and you can go and look and in details about how they provide service. I'm sure that you will learn something that you can apply to the organization, especially when you're interested in the trusted long-term preservation and stewardship of research data, because this is how they work on the collection that we call trusted digital repository. Okay, I'll go fast for this kind of digital repository. This one also is the open data platform to provide service for reuse and research data. Okay, this is another one of the social side of data archive, and Korea also have the social side data archive too. And Ireland, this collection is not only the data in the text form, and also in video, because they work with the archive, the museum, and the library, for their own collection in their digital repository of islands. That's what I call the collaboration between library, archive, and museum, that take a lot of hard work working together, And also this one is the resource portal that they work together as the collaborative digital repository. And we move to the web archiving, we will, there are so many national libraries that have done this project, to preserve the website in their archive, because website also part of the digital collection that need to collect in order to for people in the future, I mean the next generation can access to what have learned in the past, just like we use rare books. Rare book web archive is similar to rare book that we are using now. And so the website in the old time, I mean in the beginning that we have internet, can be the rare collection that we can keep in the web archiving. So I think this is the time that we have to start thinking about this too, for our collection in our country too. And I think the National Library may have a plan to do this kind of project. And the example of the digital collection of archive to collaborate to collect the image, the text, the video, and the sounds from we should call it Digital Public Library of America. This kind of repository need a lot of work from the library, from the archivists, from the curators, from the information technology specialists, and people who work in that subject area, to make it happen. It's not just only one organization work, it's a collaborative work to make it happen, like people can get access to that information. And the example, when you look at Google, you can go for dataset search, that from Google, that also Google also working on this, but they have the repository, to collect a repository to provide provide data set. When you search for any data set or any file that you want to know about statistic of something, then you can go for the text or full text about that collection. So I will end the talk by talking about the future of library management that can support data sharing and data reuse by applying fair data for the future generation to access digital data and information. Findable, findable is we work with metadata, and data should be findable for both human and computer. So metadata is very important for data management, that to allow people to search for information, And in accessibility, also one thing that people need to know how data can be accessed and interoperable. Data need to work with application of workflow for analysis, storage, and processing. And reusable. So this is the goal of FAIR, that data can be reused, by the well-described metadata. So this one is not really more difficult, but it takes time to prepare and work for it. When we work with data and we want it to be fair, I mean, it can be findable and accessible, interoperable, and reusable. There is a tools, that to evaluate that our data that we work for it is fair or not. They have the kind of a fair assessment for fair principle tool. So finally, I believe that the library creates the knowledge community. Just it's up to you to make it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for wonderful sharing. I think your talk will inspire librarians or library manager or director to be aware of the thing that they have done or they would like to do in the future. I think that's very awesome talk and sharing. Thank you very much. And Do you have any question? From the chat, there is one question from, two questions from Mr. Sok, please. Mr. Where are you? Mr. Sok? Oh, he said he is not allowed to chat.
Okay, now it's okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, so thank you very much for your presentation. As I said, it's very resourceful and we have learned a lot of things. So I have two questions. So the first question is, you said that the first task that we should do is how to advocate and convince to the government or the sponsor in order to put the budget on the library development. So I would like to know what is your strategy, like how do you convince them in order for them to put the money in our development? So that is the first question. And the second question is related to institutional repository, because we also plan to do it, but my plan is within the next 5 years. So we will go little by little. But I wonder if you develop it by yourself, or is there any platform that you just install and use it and just customize it? Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Let me answer the second one, because the first one is very difficult. For the second one is you can use open source software, because we also use the either DSpace or use Omega or Atom, software. And but if you can use the customized software if you prefer. It doesn't matter if you have the staff who can do this and who can support this in the future too. But if you don't have so many staff, then I suggest to use the open source software, to develop the repository. But more than the software is the process of work, that you have to prepare in order to meet the standards. And Chulalongkorn University can share this experience, because they have been awarded Cortazil certification already, and we also learn from them, actually, from the start of DSpace. Then we learn from Chulalongkorn University too. For the first questions, then it's very difficult, but we must do it. We have no other choice. You have to work with the administrator and who can provide us the budget. And for my experience, Dr. Suthinan can also share your experience too, as the former library director. And I think I share them about the strategy in other universities that have been successful, and give them example. You send them the project, or visit some other place that have that kind of library management that provide better service to user. I send a report to them and tell them that what others have this kind of libraries. I will do like that. And also in my experience, the university give a lot of support to the library. We don't have to ask that much, but they ask us to do more. They ask us to do what that we need you to do those and that, because we support them I used to work in the public university, so they asked us to do not just only the library work and any kind of knowledge work. We support the university. So I don't, but if anything about the budget, I will talk to the head of the director of the university, and tell her or him about those the need. That why we don't ask for ourselves, but we ask for everyone in our university. Dr. Sutinan, please help me with number one.
Okay, from my experience, first I might suggest you that we have to posit our library, whether we would like to be, whether the library for the students, the library for the community, or we would like to be the green library, or we would like to respond to the SDG goals. We have to posit our position clearly and then do the job. And then we do the job, the administrator of the university will see the benefits for our community, so they support the budget. And they ask more, like Ajahn Namtip said, ask us to do more. Okay, but you have to proceed your library first. Okay. Any more question? I saw Miss Collab. Raise your hand.
Yes, just related to in this Nord repository. So my question is that in Thailand, in this Nord repository, do you use Authy subject heading, or do you create your own subject heading?
I think both. If anyone work in the library, Punnipa or Labiab can help me answer this question, because for us, for the subject heading, we use the Thammasat University or National Library subject heading, and also from the Library of Congress. Punnipa, can you help me with this, please?
For the subject heading at the National Library, I think we use for the Library of Congress. And I'm not sure because I'm not responsible about the cataloging. This is responsible about the cataloging. But as I know, I think we use the Library of Congress for subject heading here.
I think we in English we use the Library of Catalog, and in Thai we use the subject heading of Higher Education Group. I think กลุ่มทำงานมหาลัยอะค่ะห้องสมุดสถาบันอุดมศึกษา
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, there's a specific group that have the handbook for subject headings in Thailand. Yes.
I see. Okay.
Someone share the link to online Thai subject headings in the chat box. You can dig more about the subject heading. And there is one more question for Dr. Namtip, which is there a PhD scholarship for LIS in Thailand? Is there a PhD scholarship for LIS in Thailand? Yes, absolutely.
Well, there are 3 universities in Thailand that provide PhD program. My university is Sukhothai Thammathirat Open University and Khon Kaen University in the northeast of Thailand, and Chulalongkorn University. I think for international program for Chulalongkorn University. But for the scholarship, it depends on each university, But in Thailand, we have the project called Golden Jubilee PhD program that provide to the Thai scholar to get the scholarship when they study in Thailand, and then can go to the research award. But I think it's just for Thai national only. And for others, I'm not sure, what is the criteria they have for the scholarship. Thank you.
But there is the scholarship to do the research for the PhD student as well. I think from the National Research Committee, I think. And Miss Rosega, you raise your hand, please.
Thank you. Yeah, I have two questions related to the modern library management to Dr. Namkit. As you share in the slide about the library automation, and you have shown off about the digital archive and the digital repository from the other university. I would like to know if the other university library can use this can use this share this to the researcher or the student to use this resource. Also can put in the website to share to the researcher of the over university. As the second question about the library management, you show us about their advocacy, policy, budget, and personnel, and I would like to know more detail. What are the best practice that you have implemented in the university library management on the budget and advocacy? Is that the budget for the library from the management, or you have an advocate from the other institution to get a fund to sponsor to in order to have this budget? Yeah, yes, thank you. That's all.
Let me answer the second question first. And oh no, we don't get the support from other organizations. The budget will come from our own institution. You know, when we work with the budget, we have to set up the plan and set the budget that we need to run our library. And we have to write that kind of plan, you know, to what we will do each year, right, annually for the project to provide I mean the project for to run the library. And if you ask for the best practice, it depends on the type of organization you are working with, because they are different. The model of the public libraries are different from the university library. It cannot be applied to different type of libraries. School library are different, you know. So it really depends. If you work for the public library, you have to look at the public library. If you work with the special library, you have to look at the model of the special library. It cannot, you know, it can, even though in Thailand, we just cannot copy the kind of strategy or the policy from one library to another library, because I think we are different, you know, but just we share the same mission. For the first question is, can you say it again, please? Then I'm not sure whether I get it.
Yes, I got it. So for the first question about the library automation, you saw us about the digital archive and the repository from the various universities. That we can mean that from the other university can use this resource and share to the student to use this as well. Yes.
Yes. Because it's public, it's provide public, you know, when we go to the repository, it means that anyone can search for information. You can give the links to your students to search for information, but we just cannot deposit our information to their repository. You know, if we want to deposit, we have to create our own repository. Like Mr. Kim Heng Suk said that he has a plan to do a repository. You know, if you want to deposit something, it's just like you build a house and you have your own staff who live together in your house, and you put stuff in you know, in this repository. So we have to build a house first, which is the repository, and then we can deposit anything that you want to share there, and let others access to, you know. Is that?
Yeah. So so for the repository For example, Chulalongkorn University has established the CUIR as the university repository and has been awarded for Trasil certification. So I have a question that can you share us like what are the material content that you created in the CUIR repository? Is it the research from the faculty or the research from the student as well, and how to obtain this like the course Trasil certification? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's about the thesis and research. May I ask the director from Chulalongkorn University or our colleague from Chulalongkorn University to answer these questions about CUIR? Please.
Thank you very much for transfer this question to Chulalongkorn University. For Chulalongkorn University Intellectual Repository, or we call CUIR, we are provide this database for Chulalongkorn University community for bring their thesis and research and other material that provide and create for Chulalongkorn University to this database. And then we are open to the library or library user in public that they can access our database. They can download full text and they can access from any time and anywhere. Every thesis and research, when the owner, I mean the student or researcher, they send to this database, and it will automatically send to this database, and the library user can access and search and retrieve a full text suddenly. That is our concept CUIR. Thank you so much.
Okay, this responses to the SDG goals, because we have to open all of the thing we have to the public to be equally accessed to no matter who they are, like any generation, any gender, any types of user. They will have the equally access to all information that we have. I think this is response to SDG goals.
Yes.
Would you like to add something, Ajahn Namkip Ka?
Yeah, may I share a little bit about the criteria, when you go for Trasil certification, there are three main criteria. One is the organizational structure. And the second one, the organizational structure, you have to work with the copyright issue as well, because this is very important. We have to work with the copyright owners, before we can publish any information, and it's part of the organization infrastructure. And the second one is about the digital object management, which means that we have to work with the digital objects or digital materials, to be accessible and to be original one, and to have a kind of what we call it is we have the persistent identifier, for that digital objects. And the third one is about the technology, information technology and security. So these three parts together make the repository is more trusted. So I think if you want to look at, you go to Google and then go to Trasil, and then you'll find detail of the criteria that you can work with that criteria in order to make the depository meet the standards. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.